good people, maybe not good people. It's up to you to decide what you are. But for everybody in the building with us, it's another episode Eagles Elite Podcast. And we got a couple of things that we must discuss on the show. It's not in the things to discuss, but for sure, 1,000%, we got to talk about this tush push controversy. We also got to give our thoughts on game 2 from Adoree Jackson. I don't think there's been a lot of change from game 1, but I want to give everybody their own opportunity to speak their truth on Adoree Jackson. We had a game last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. We won it. We're gonna talk about it. We got a game coming up this week against the Los Angeles Rams. We got a Weakest Linc. We got Elite Performance of the Week. And then, time permitting, we'll slide into a little power rankings. Time doesn't permit, we can always move the power rankings to next week. We'll see how things are percolating as we get going. You feel me? But your boy Cool, I got on that throwback first Super Bowl hat. And that throwback first Super Bowl shirt, baby. Got to rep hard for the boys. I figure it's a good week to take a trip right down memory lane. You know what I'm saying? Back to when people was eating boo-boo because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Things happen. They make bets and not follow through. I'm going to just leave it there. Before we get into things, y'all, there's one thing that we must do. We must get that last little bit of just heightness, just that last touch, that last taste, that last, like, we about to get it. And y'all know what it is. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, y'all, we back. In the building. And the first thing, Eagles news. So we're going to go around like we always do. Any news that you good people have, y'all want to share with the fans. We'll start with you this week, Diva.
Oh, I don't got no news. I ain't paying no attention. I was just too happy about the game. I'll be honest. Oh, Dallas Goddard was at practice. I do have that. He was at practice today. And Jalen Carter was limited practice because of that daggone shoulder. He's been having issues since preseason. So I'm a little concerned about that shoulder. But that's all I have so far.
Key?
Well, you forgot your boy came back. We signed back Green. Whatever the hell his name is. Bird.
That boy ain't important. That ain't my boy.
Yeah, Goddard came back. We re-signed the Kenyon. Don't know why. That's still a head scratcher. I don't know how he got up to. That was really no updates, really. Well, with especially like the press conference stuff. But I'm sure we're getting to that. But really, nothing crazy.
So for my update, I want to talk about the public outrage around NFL circles for the tush push. So here in Charlotte, as well as national media I listened to, wanted to harp on the fact that the Eagles did the tush push 12% of their plays. Now, I want to say this. Anybody that take this any kind of way, it's on you. How much of a loser do you have to be to take the time to go look up the percentage somebody used a certain play, just so you can whine about it? I also want to say everyone is so just butthurt about this one play. You forget everyone can use this play. And let me remind you, the Cincinnati Bengals used this play multiple times on Sunday as well. But nobody took the time to go find the percentage of the time they used it. Once Jake Browning came in, they used this play. And it was called a tush push. The announcers were even like, they're using the tush push. So there are other teams that have effectively used the tush push. You want to complain about lining up?
Just use it already to get out the end zone.
I'm just saying that was my example. So, other examples, feel free. My problem is this was put to a vote. And enough teams did not vote for this for it to be banned. So it's a legal play. So people want to complain, oh, they're on top of the ball, they're offsides, blase, bliggity, bliggity. Okay, well, let's also point out the fact that the defense is right up in their face. So if they're off, so is the defense, because they're like literally face-to-face almost. So if you're talking about neutral zone or false starts, it's really going both ways because there's no break in between like it should be when you do the tush push. So that's why I think the referees aren't really calling anything. So everybody's excited. Oh, the tush push is going to be gone. And then what the Eagles going to do without the tush push? Probably can get a ball to one of those big backs or a big 600-pound squat running back or quarterback and see what they could do 4 times in a row. And I think they'll still end up getting in the end zone. I don't think that'll be an issue at all. I will say, and I'll let you, the people, give y'all's thoughts after this. I want to say one more thing. I will say this. There were times where we really didn't need to use the tush push that we used it. And I think that it should be more of a use it at the times when you really need it, right? Like 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2. 3rd down, just try to run the ball. Or do a regular QB sneak. I think we just need to use it like when it's necessary because it does take a lot out of the players. And I would hate for someone to be injured later in the year or worn down when we're trying to get back to where we want to go from overusage of the tush push during the season. So I'm not for the, let's not use it camp or it shouldn't be used. But I'm more of the like, be more smart about when you use it camp for the tush push. That's all I'm going to say about the tush push. Key, I'm going to go you first and let Diva finish it up because I know Diva got a face.
I mean, Adam Schefter was one of them. He was like, oh, the game was lost in March. No, the game was lost because Travis Kelce didn't catch the ball and we intercepted it. The game was lost because we had more points than you. Don't sit up here on national TV saying that the tush push was the reason why Kansas City lost. No, it wasn't. They just simply, we were better than them. They lost. They made mistakes. We capitalized on it, or they didn't do enough of. I thought the whole point of the game was to score as many points as you can than your other team, the other opponent. I thought that was the name of how you win. It don't matter how you do it, you got to have more points than win the game. So it's just all over. It's not just, it's nationwide. It's especially here in Philly, going crazy. So if y'all wanted the play gone, enough teams should have said no, but they didn't. So you know what? It's going to get used. But I mean, if you're going to use it in like you said in short yard situation. Don't always use it. Try to see just for one game, shut everybody up. That's what they should do. Just for one game, don't do it at all, and see what happens. Okay, we didn't do it, so we can still win without it. So what do y'all have to say now that we didn't use it this one game? Y'all can't say, oh, the Eagles can't win without it. They need to test that. They need to just do it one time and just shut everybody up. Play a game without using it. See what happens. So, but if you didn't want it, you shouldn't have voted. And stop it. So again, before it even moves on, Jason Kelce and his brother Travis, it was on New Heights. Travis took it in the chin. He was like, "We lost." And it wasn't because the switch we lost. And even Jason was like, they slow it down microseconds just to see who's offsides. If you really gonna be petty like that, then the referees need to call it right down the middle on both sides. You offsides, y'all in the neutral zone. You went, you false started. Y'all need to call it down the middle then if that's the case. Because when the Chargers did it, they stopped the play before they did it, and everybody got lined up how they were supposed to, and then they hiked the ball. Eagles ain't gonna get that. When have we ever seen the ref go ahead and stop and to get so we can get lined up? So now moving forward, everybody got to make sure they lined up where they need to be and don't move until the ball is snapped. Or just don't do it at all. Touch my theory. One game without it. See what happens. I'm done
now. I feel like the reason why the tush push was used a lot in that game is because we haven't got offensively creative. And we don't know how to use our weapons in 1 and 3rd and goal or 1st and goal. We're not using. I feel like in those situations you need to use AJ Dillon. I feel like that's the reason why you have your bowling ball with feet. And I feel like that's the reason why it was basically used a lot is because I don't think we've got creative enough to, really convert on 3rd down or whatnot. We're just so used to use the tush push, which I think this is the most we've ever used it in a game that I can recall. But let's be honest, last year Buffalo used the tush push. I think they were second most team that used
and they
it.
couldn't do it.
Right. And so it's funny when other teams do it and nothing said about it, but as soon as we do it, everybody wants to ban it. They don't like it. And I mean, to be honest, it's really not much different than a quarterback sneak. If you really look at it, it's really not. And most of the time, the defense is in the neutral zone as well. So it's not – I think the problem is what I heard from Dan Blandino was that it's hard for them to figure out if they really got the first down or not because you got so many people piled on one another. So it's really hard to tell where the ball actually is. That's why they got to go up to – the top to figure out if it was, if they actually got it or not. I think that's really the main thing. I did hear Malata say that it is a lot on their bodies doing the tush push. I get it. It is. I heard Kelsey say the same thing. But like I said, that's when you have to get creative. Like, I mean, we could have used running back on a 3rd down. You could use a quarterback sneak. I mean, you could have faked it to the running back and Jalen could have threw it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be creative about what you're doing. You don't always have to go to the tush push because eventually somebody going to get hurt or number 2 is going to be stopped, which it has been stopped a few times for us. Not enough, but it has been stopped. But yeah, I mean, I just think that we need to get more creative. Use it when necessary, but not as much as we used it. I think, like I said, this is the most I think we used it in a game.
Yeah, valid, because I mean, it's just crazy, like how much focus people put into, we got to ban the tush push, we got to ban the tush push. It's been around for years. People have had the opportunity to learn how to stop it, and they just haven't done it. And I feel like, for me personally speaking, I just feel like, hey, if you can't stop it, that's on you. As long as it's legal, yeah, we should use it. But again, we can be more, let me say, aware of when and how we use it. That's something we could do. So, that was other news, but we just gonna stop it right there because, hey, we good after that. Benny Boone, what you talking about? You said he was gonna be working on shirts all day. I tell you what, since you want to get quit, then Benny.
She said she was working on shirts all day.
It ain't nothing.
Benny said he had to get in on this conversation.
Yeah.
What? What you say about to get on?
Benny, by the time you get here, we're gonna be done.
Look, at least it ain't me getting yelled at this week.
Yeah, you got yelled at last
can of I got my OGs. It's just something I got from one of my OGs. Benny ain't said nothing about coming on this week. Benny talking about he was doing shirts.
Hey, Philly. See you in a minute.
Whatever. Benny. So yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of interesting things that we could talk about that could be said about the whole situation around, the tush push, how it's used, all the complaining. But we don't talk about Buffalo. We don't talk about any other teams. It's like all we talk about is that the Eagles use it. And I find that laughable because we're not the only team that uses it. That's what I find so crazy. We're not the only team that uses it.
Because we're the most successful at it. That's all.
Right.
We're the most successful. It's not like us and nobody else. It's us and the other people. It's a concerted effort for usage.
Listen, I guarantee you, if you use the Philly play all the time, they complain about that and want to take that away too. We're Philadelphia. It don't matter what we do, they're gonna complain.
This is very true. This is very true. Benny said, well, Philly says, cool, I'm going to eventually message you about guesting. Philly makes an appearance.
Yeah, we ain't seen her in a minute. I think me and you were just talking about earlier. It's like, dang, we ain't seen Philly.
Juan says, yes, that's why they want to ban it, because we are so good at it. What's going on, Juan? Thanks for tuning in, sir. And Benny says, I had to make y'all laugh, take y'all's mind off the tush push BS. I mean, it don't really bother me because haters gonna hate. I feel like that. They don't like us anyway. Nobody likes us. We the Eagles. They don't like us. They never have. They never will. We don't like them either.
There's no one likes
them. So y'all, we're gonna go ahead and keep things moving. With our elite performance of the week. Diva, will start with you. Who was your elite performer of the week?
Baby CJ number 2, Makuba. Boy has been on fire. He has actually lived up to all the reports that I heard when he got drafted that he could possibly be a CJ number 2. And he's living up to that. I'm excited for that young boy to see, in the next coming years what he will be. But so far he has been what they say he has been. He has a knack for the ball, and no one is coming and likes to jump in front to get it.
All right, Keith, who's your player of the game? Excuse me.
I am going to go special teams here and give Braden Mann some love because he was punting the hell out them balls to put the Chiefs in field position and Wade into the end zone. I think he kicked like a 70-yarder at one point in the first half or first quarter. And all like his whole punts was actually good, kept him inside the 10. So I'm gonna give some love to Braden Mann this week.
All right. Philly says, sorry, she's been busy. Juan says, let him cook.
Let him cook.
Benny has a comment for Diva. I'll just let her read and then she can respond to Benny.
Because I don't have any medium shirts. I do have a medium. Yeah, I can take a medium. I'm about to use my words, medium.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with the big cat, Jordan Davis, making plays, just being a disruptor, attacking the run game, making it uncomfortable for one Patty Mayonnaise. So I'm going to go with him. I like what he did. I like this new, smaller version of Jordan Davis. You can tell he really took it to heart that basically got almost just moved aside. And I like that he took it as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen and people take it different ways. But when you're a dog inside, it don't matter what other people think about. If you're a dog inside, you're going to find a way to make it work. And he definitely has done that. So big shout out to Jordan Davis. He got a renewed vigor this year. My man is all motor. what Jacob Fatu say? He all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.
Baby.
I love it.
I gotta give an honorary shout out to Jake, man. My kicker is back. My boy kicked a 54-yarder. Okay, my boy back. I'm so proud of Jake.
Being the difference in the game.
And 150. Didn't he do 58 too?
He did do 58. Sure did.
Yeah. But hey,
I got an honorable mention. Darius Smith.
Oh yeah, love the motor, love the heart.
Okay.
Oh, and number 11, AJ Brown, because that was one hell of a catch, one hell of a throw, one hell of a catch.
Well, I mean, I thought we were going to go around and let everybody have a mention, but
I mean, it's a bunch. I mean, you know, it's enough.
That was actually my honorable mention that you took, but it's fine.
I thought you was going to leave Smitty.
That was going to go who?
I thought you was going to leave Smitty out of the equation, huh?
Nah, he wasn't mine. I mean, he made plays, but honestly, with Smitty, there's a different expectation from me. So that's why I like it'd be weeks where he make good plays. You'd be like, well, he ain't talking about Smitty. Because I have the expectation that that's what he's going to do. Because that's a consistency for him. So once it's consistent in my mind, that's the expectation. So that's why I don't mention Smitty as much, me personally. I'm not saying anything's wrong, but just, that's my thoughts. So Benny says, what do y'all think about the linebacker lot 2? I mean, fullback lot 2, excuse me. I'll let y'all go with that. What y'all think about it?
No, you go ahead on. You got that
one. There were some plays that I felt like he could have. I think it was on that Saquon run. He kind of either missed the block or it was in the way. But I can see the potential there. So we just give it some more time. But I say 50-50 then.
Yeah, I remember. Go ahead, dude.
I mean, this is his first time really being moved to that position, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So he ain't no Ben Van Summeren, but I mean, he got potential.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance to practice all camp as a fullback, and he got kind of thrusted into that role. So I'm okay with it right now because you got to give him a chance to learn. Like you can't just expect him to come out and ball out from day one when he didn't have a training camp behind him at that position. So it's one of them things where unfortunately guys go down, and one of the things that we've always criticized the Eagles for in the past kind of reared its ugly head on this one. Nobody else was being trained to be a fullback in case something happened to a guy who always gets hurt. Say what you want about Ben Van Summeren, good, bad, whatever. My man be getting hurt. And unfortunately, he got hurt, and this is a time where there was really a lot riding on him being healthy. So Latu was just kind of stepping into that. So I'm not going to, spit flame on somebody for stepping into a situation that wasn't really their thing. So if he's still playing like this in a couple of weeks, then we're going to have a problem. But, he gets a pass until he gets a few weeks under his belt. So that's how I feel about him, sir. How do you feel about it, Benny, since you threw that out there? How did you feel about it? What does Benny Boom think about him? That's what we'd like to know. But moving on, we've had our elite performance of the game. Y'all know after elite performance, what comes next? Key, who is your weakest link?
Still don't see in my opinion. See, I'm gonna go for Trullo again. Everybody's like, oh, give him the benefit of the doubt. It's only week 2. We started off slow last year. Blah blah blah. But I just still feel like this offense is missing something, or it ain't, or something ain't there, or I don't know. He even said in his press conference, "Oh, we have big plays dialed up. We just can't get them off." Or he said, "Oh, it's more QB designs come in, or why do we have running backs for that? Why do we need QB designs? He's saying there's more stuff coming. Be patient, or we got stuff, but you can't use it because they're covered. I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit out, see what he does after this game to really get my do I don't like him or not. But I'm going to say OC this week again because he was last week too, and I'm going again.
Diva, who you got?
Travis Kelce. No, I'm just playing. Well, Weakest Linc is Big Fangio. Big Fangio.
He's gonna be your elite performer of the game for us.
Right. Vic Fangio for that trash, garbage CB that he feels like did some good things in this game. What he was looking at, I have no clue. Maybe Vic is just getting cataracts, glaucoma. I don't know. But I've seen nothing. Okay? So for him to have faith in that boy, didn't have faith in CJ, Vic, you gotta be my weakest link, bro. Because you killing us with that boy. You killing us, man.
So my weakest link is gonna be that boy. Number 8, Adoree Jackson. Burnt toast. Again, Adoree Jackson was manhandled. Adoree Jackson was obliterated at times. Definitely steps behind. Definitely doesn't look like a starting corner in the NFL. I don't understand why Vic won't at least try other options when he sees how poorly he's playing. So I'm going to go with Adoree Jackson as my weakest link. Just was not happy with, what he was doing. Just was not happy with it, man. And this is a 2-week one. This is a 2-week one. All right, so we're going to go real gangster with it today. So it's time. It's time. It's beta time. Time for that previous game review, y'all. So had the game last week. Game that we won. We just got through talking about our best and worst player from it. Now, let's talk about it. What did y'all see in this Chiefs game that went? We're going to flip it up. What did y'all see that went bad for the Eagles in this Chiefs game? Dave, I'll come to you first.
Just the non-creativeness in the offense. I mean, we threw a little bit. The running game still wasn't where I wanted to be. I mean, Saquon did get a touchdown, but still some of the running plays that was called, I didn't like. I feel like we're not using A.J. Dillon enough. I know he was out there a few plays, but I just don't feel like it's enough. I guess I'm craving that Ajayi, and when we had that duo. Like that's really what LeGarrette Blount, like that's really what I'm craving, and that's what we have, but we're not using it. The offense just looks flat out dry sometimes. And I don't feel like we're using our plays to the best of our players' ability. AJ Brown did have a nice catch, but I'm just not used to him and Smitty not really being as productive. And I feel like Kevin Petula doesn't understand, which I don't know how, understands their talent and nor enough to dial up plays for them. Saquon, AJ Dillon. Yeah, it's just not there for me yet. I mean, I get it. Like he said, he's new, but I feel like this dude been with us for a minute. And I feel like even though, you've been here, I still feel like you should know what works and what don't work. You've seen Kellen Moore and a few other ones. You ain't got to do what they do, but just look at what they did to make things work, that worked with the players to their playing ability, and drum up something with that. Like, you're not doing enough. And I'm going to give them about week 5, week 6, but if it's still bland, we got a problem. We got a problem, Captain. So the offense for me.
What about you, Keith?
You on mute, Keith.
You on mute, Keith.
I don't know what it was. It just felt like we were waiting the last second to call the play in. So I don't know if something wasn't clicking, but they was waiting till like 5 seconds left on the play clock to call something. Jalen must have liked something because he was yelling at Steen and them at the line. So I don't know what happened. It did get fixed throughout the game. I didn't see them lagging there, but for that quarter or so, it just felt like they was getting plays and kind of late. So that's one thing that I didn't notice because it was irking me. I'm like, why are we hiking the ball so late? So that was me. I don't know if it was the issue of getting plays in. And when do Jalen ever wear a wristband with plays on it? That's how you know. That's how you know.
New coordinator.
So for me, the urgency from the coaching staff is a big concern. I just don't feel like the coaching staff really has that level of urgency, right? Like I just don't feel like they looking at these games and saying, man, we really got to get out and put our foot on their throat and leave it there. It's kind of like, oh, we scored a couple of points. Let's just try to run the clock out, and play good on the defensive side of the ball. And that could work, but you're going to play teams who have the offensive ability that right now Kansas City doesn't possess. So when you play those teams, these 17 points are not going to win, right? Unless they only have 17 because we just controlling time of possession. And the best way to do that is keep scoring. I don't like the take your foot off the gas once you get up mentality that I kind of feel like Nick Sirianni has brought to the team for a minute. I feel like he's always like, oh, we've done enough to win, so now let's just run out the clock. And he's been successful in a lot of times with that. But again, the schedule we have this year is more difficult than last year, and I think you're going to have to approach it differently. So then we'll flip it, and we'll talk about some things that we like from the game. Since I went last, I'll go ahead and go first with what I like from the game. I like the defense. I feel like the defense came to play. I feel like they made the most of the situations they were put in. And I also feel like it was just a lot of hunger, from that. Even without Jalen Carter maybe being as dominant as he could be, I think the shoulder's a problem. I also don't like Vic calling him out, saying that he was out of shape. I feel like even if that's the case, that's something that could have stayed in-house. Didn't need to really be out in the public like that. But it is what it is. It's out there. But that's kind of what I liked. I also liked the fact that Jalen just controlled his side of the ball, right? He just controlled. Didn't throw for a lot of yards, but he did enough to win. But again, I feel like the play calling has to be more consistent and more concise. So we got a couple of comments here on the weakest link we just talked about. So Benny Boone says, my weakest link is Dallas Goedert. Always being hurt. We really need him. We really need him. Juan says, agree, Goddard's days are numbered. He can't stay off the hurt up list. Dallas got to be on the hurt up list since his rookie year or close to it. I think that's the whole reason we got a Calcaterra. We kind of had the same thing happen with Zach Ertz. He started getting hurt. We drafted Goddard, and then Goddard ended up taking over. So I think we may have the same thing with Calcaterra. It's one of those things, man. Tight end's a hard position on you because you got to think about this. Look at Travis Kelce and how he's going down. He's not even really a blocker. But you think about you got a tight end that's inline blocking, blocking the run game, all those things. And then he's going out and catching passes and getting smashed, right? Pause. There's not a lot of opportunity for rest in the game and take a lot of violent hits. So I don't think tight ends that play both sides like Goddard's been doing the last few years as far as run blocking as well as catching, it's harder for them to stay healthy. Then he's just one of those guys, he's just going to be hurt a few games. But yeah, not necessarily disagreeing with y'all, just kind of giving my thoughts on it. Diva, I'll go with you next. What you like about the game?
I like that Jalen Hurts was very in control of the ball. He still hasn't turned the ball over. He looks a lot more confident with the ball and doesn't look like he's hesitating like he used to at the beginning of last year. So I think he's getting better at being comfortable in his game. Like I said, that one pass, that one play that he threw to AJ, like that ball went through a defender's hand and AJ caught it with one hand because that ball could have been intercepted. So I like the trust that he has with his teammates. I like the fact that he's being more vocal with his teammates. Never seen him holler at Steen because they didn't hike the ball enough time. And the comments he made to Chris Jones. Ain't used to hearing Jalen be that vocal, so I'm glad he's finally starting to show up and really just elevate his game. So Jalen, for me, I like what I saw from Jalen and how he kept it together and been turnover free.
You took one of my favorite moments is the thing at the end. Chris Jones got to be pet. How petty do you got to be to talk crap in the victory formation? That's petty. But Jalen said the ultimate answer. Shut up. We won. So that was one moment. Again, turnover free. Can't ask for more. No turnovers is a plus in my book. That means the other team don't get an opportunity to score off of it or get an interception or a sack, or a fumble. However, what else? The defense did adjust a little bit, so made adjustments. They really didn't handle big except for that one that got broken up, and then the one that Makuba actually messed up on, and we thought it was Quinyon, but it wasn't. Except for that play, that was the only really big play that they had. If that first one would have went through, he dropped it. So, and they ran it back, and he caught it downfield. So it was just really that one play that we gave up. So we didn't give up big plays. So I had to go with the defense. I like the defense in this game.
All right. Any other thoughts from this game? Yeah.
No, it's just they suck and we own them now. They lost to us 3 times, so I don't hear no more about the Chiefs or Patty Mayo. He's garbage. Okay.
Anything from you, Keith?
That was it.
I'll just add, I think that it didn't look very good either, but we did enough to win the game. And that's like the mark of a champion or a really good team. You win those games, there's like, you ain't really play much better than the other team. And I know you have these people that they have this thing about, Jalen Hurts this, Jalen Hurts that. He wins games. I can't speak for any other fans, but I can speak for myself in saying, I don't care if you throw for 75 yards if we win the games. Winning games is the most important thing. Stats are statisticals. That's so for somebody to talk about 30 years from now who's trying to make an argument about this person being better than that person. Right now, in the moment in time when things are happening, we're trying to win. And Jalen Hurts, I feel like, gives the Eagles the best chance for that with his play style and his ability to just be like, I'm going to do what needs to be done. If it's run the ball, just throw the ball. And don't think for a second that there's not more plays that are installed that could be ran, but they're choosing to do this. We're going to wait, and we're only going to show people a little bit at a time, just enough to win until it blows up in their face. But I definitely feel like that's what we have going on is the game that Nick likes to play of, we're not going to show everything this week. We're just going to show a little bit every week. That can backfire Nick. It's okay to come out, and make some things happen sometime too. This Ram team that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, they're going to be out here to play. And we better be out there to play or things going to get ugly real, real quick. And I ain't looking for that to happen. All right, so with that being said, it's time for the preview. Game of the week. Eagles Rams. We know we all got winning. I'm assuming everybody got the Eagles in this game. So I'll ask, what are our keys to success on the defensive side of the ball to win this game? Diva, you want to go first or you want Key to go first?
Key, you go first.
You said the keys on defense or just the keys overall?
The keys on defense.
All right. So keys on defense: don't let the big play happen. Meaning, don't let Puka get the ball at any time because he catches everything that comes to him. And Devontae Adams, veteran in this league, been in the game for a long time, but he still got hands. He can still run routes. We cannot give up no big plays to neither one of them. Kyron Williams is another one, even though he's fumble prone, but we can probably get a turnover off him. But can't take him lightly either. So defense back end got to do their jobs when it comes to not being able to make have them get the big play there. They have to at least contain. I'm not saying stop them. I'm sure they're going to probably catch a few in here, but no long bombs down the field, 30, 60 something yards, and one of our corners is looking stupid. So don't give up the big play.
Of course, don't give up the big play. You definitely gotta watch Puka Nacua, because we know he is one of their best receivers. Of course, you got Devontae Adams. He's still one of the best receivers as well. Might be a little old in the game, but he's still pretty good. Yeah, and I need for that O-line, that D-line, that front line to hold up good pressure at Stafford because, once he gets a little shaky, then he's bound to turn that ball over. But I'm just that darn CB on the right side. I don't know. The rest of the defense is good, but that side, and that's what they said they were going to target was that secondary, that shaky secondary. That is going to be the problem. But I think hopefully Vic can make adjustments where it needs to be done, whether he's giving help over the top, underneath, because Adoree going to need some help. Boy's always 2-3 steps behind his receiver. He's going to need some help, so you're going to have to give that boy help over the top and underneath.
Yeah, I would say we got to try to make them one-dimensional. We got to take away the run game so that they're always in situations where they feel like they got to pass. A couple of ways to do that. Of course, one way is having success. But also just making sure whenever they run the ball, they're not getting anything. Pressuring, gap integrity, making sure you control yourself and stay within the gaps you need to stay in. All those good things, because as long as we don't give them opportunities, I feel like they're not going to be successful against us. I think the moment they're able to get the run off as well and then play action becomes a factor, that makes the game more difficult. So if we can keep it to a one-dimensional game, passing is going to be difficult with Adoree Jackson out there. But if we can make sure we know, okay, most of these plays are going to be passing plays, so the help needs to be there for Adoree Jackson because obviously he needs it. I don't know what he has on Vic, but he has something in my opinion. But, so we're going to need to do that defensively. And then offensively. So I asked you the same question. Diva, I'll start this one with you. What do we need to do offensively against the Rams?
We got to be more creative. In that last game, Saquon was very explosive. Of course, that was in Kellen Moore's. That was his calling, and that was his time. And so we have to be more explosive with the run game. We have to be more explosive with the passing game. I want to see more passing. I want to see a mix-up, but I want to make sure that we're not just running up the middle with Saquon. I want to make sure that we're not just pushing our way. Use A.J. Dillon. In those short runs, use him. When you're at the goal line, use him and let him bulldoze his way in for a touchdown. Make it make sense here. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more passes, little short passes up the middle, to the right, to the left. You know what I'm saying? Be creative. Don't just want to go for, the ones where you're throwing it down the field, which we know Jalen got an arm. We know he can make those. But you got to be creative, man. I want to see some creativity. I want to see that playbook be opened up because I feel like we just keep running the same few plays. So be creative.
Even Tom Brady said A.J. Brown is running the same routes. And if Tom Brady can spot it, then that's an issue. Then it means somewhere the field, somewhere that the other team can see or anybody watching can see that AJ is one-dimensional running the same thing. So you got to mix up things. Let's see if Petrolo can pull out the trigger this week on things and really get this offense going because they're looking stale. I'm not saying if we can go stale all year and, still win 12, 13 games, do we still complain? They were like, oh, Philly, y'all are hard. Y'all complaining everything. Y'all still win a game. What y'all complaining about? There's stuff. Trust me. It's not a yeah, we won, but it's still some things that we noticed that we can do better. So I guess that's why we complain. We know they can be a better team with just more schemes and just design things for your players. So we wouldn't be complaining about a 2-0. That's just like we complain he was a 10-0 team, but things something wasn't right even with the 10-0 team, and he just didn't want to address it. And we got smacked. And you wonder why. Oh, you should have did this. We tried to tell y'all should have been did this. So I just don't want to get it to that point where we go undefeated again and we don't look like ourselves.
We got to run the ball. Our identity has clearly become a running team. So we got to run the ball, whether that's Hurts, whether that's Barkley, whether it's Dylan. Bigsby gets a little bit more run this week because he's been in the offense a little bit longer, maybe understands a little bit more. Whatever the logic or the reason behind it, we have got to get the running game. We need big games. We need big chunk yards. We need some plays on the ground like we were getting last year. I think that could be more spread out. We don't have to expect that to always be the same person this year. It doesn't always have to be Saquon Barkley. He's got help that can make that happen now. So making sure that we use that, making sure we set up play action, and Hurts definitely has to make the right reads and right plays. But yeah, Brown needs to run some different routes. I mean, you can kind of tell he's running the same ones, and that is pretty bad when even Tom Brady can tell what's really happening with that, and that's crazy. He's been handling it well, but I think at some point as a receiver, I need to get that rock in my hands. Y'all need to do something to get that rock in my hand. I think that's where we're going to be at after week 3. So I think getting the wide receivers involved, getting tight end involved, maybe Saquon a little bit in the passing game as well. Getting your number 3 wide receiver involved and meet you on the field some, showing him a lot of different looks, right? And it may be the same looks, just different guys, but you just got to do something to kind of get things going in a different direction. I know they're trying to, again, I believe at least this seems like a Nick Sirianni thing to do. They're trying to make sure that they don't give too much away. But in trying to make sure you don't give too much away, you may not do enough to continually win against better teams. What we need from the Philadelphia Eagles is when you're out here against these teams who have these offenses like the Rams, you're showing, hey, we can put up points too. Because this is going to be, to me, more of a track meet. This is not going to be, 20-17, 23 to 14 or something like that. It's not going to win this game. I think we're going to have to put up a little bit more. I think we're going to need some turnovers as well. But I think offensively, what needs to happen is we have to open it up more in terms of who's playing. Even if you're going to be doing the same things, at least let there be other people out there. So you can't say A.J. Brown lines up here, this is what he's going to do. We already know. And that's kind of, after a couple of weeks, defensive coordinators pick up on those tendencies real quick. So just, make sure we're doing what makes sense out there. Make sure we're running plays. If Hurts got the lane, let him go. I don't like the design run. I'm not a fan of the design run, but I don't mind him seeing a hole and taking off because I think that's when his running game is at its best. But I think they like to get a little wild on the called runs and the design runs. We really don't need that. We definitely don't need that. So, that's my thoughts on that. Any other thoughts on the game coming up this week? Anything else y'all wanted to throw out there?
Just play smart. Don't turn the ball over. And hopefully Vic Fangio had something for that secondary because I don't know. I'm out of options here.
I think Vic is waiting. I think he's waiting because he said that Adoree Jackson is bad. just like, what was you watching? Cardi said Carter's out of shape. Carter admitted he was like, yeah, I could be better. So I don't know if that was like a, especially these first 2 games is like the one preseason because they didn't really get in this preseason. So even though we won, they haven't been pretty. We still won. I give them at least give them maybe the 5. I get it. So maybe this offense will be itself, but it just needs to be more. That's all. We just want more. We just need more consistency.
Fair enough. So y'all, before we get out of here, we're just gonna take a few quick minutes here and just go through our power rankings for the NFL for going into week 3. So at the very bottom, as expected, the worst team in the NFL so far, the Miami Dolphins 0-2. And it's bad down there. Leave it like that. Right above them, the second worst team in the NFL.
Terrible.
Yeah, the second worst team in the NFL, Cleveland Browns, at 31. They're down a spot. I think we all expect that. The Dolphins are down 4 spots to be the very worst. They deserve to be there last week, so I'm surprised it took 2 weeks. The Saints, who were the very worst team, actually climbed up over both of them, even though they're still 0-2. They just look like they may be able to do something. Those 2 teams below them, they don't even look like they're going to be capable of doing anything this year. And right above them at 29, actually up 2 spots, ironically, the Carolina Panthers. Another poor first half for them, another good second half. They actually had opportunities to possibly win, but things kind of went bad. All right, right above them at 28, the New York Jets. Justin Fields got hurt. That's all you need to know. 0-2 Jets. Right above them, up 2 spots. I'm gonna come back once we get to 20. Let y'all give any thoughts on any of the teams from this part. 27, up 2 spots, the New York Giants. I think we know why they're there. They moved up from. They had some heart, at least a pulse against the Giants. Against the Cowboys. The Tennessee Titans, they staying right there at 26. Cam Ward, it's going to be a rough season for my boy. It's going to be a rough season. At 25, the Patriots, they're 1-1. 24, down a spot, Las Vegas Raiders, also 1-1. So we're starting to get into the teams that are split now. Jacksonville, 1-1. You can't play the Panthers every week, so you're going to, have some stiff competition sometimes. They're down 1 spot at 23. At 22, Chicago Bears, 0-2. I don't understand why 0-2 team is above teams that are actually winning games, but they're down 4 spots to 22. And then at 21, the Dallas Cowboys, after getting a win over the New York Giants barely, they stay put at 21. Guys have any thoughts on those teams?
Nope.
Trash. Those are my thoughts. Garbage.
Nothing, Key?
Got nothing.
Fair enough.
It is where they is for a reason. I got nothing.
All right, at number 20, we got the 1-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Unfortunately, Aaron can't play the Jets every week, so he did get a loss. They're down 4 spots to 20. All right, number 19, down 8 spots. J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings are now 1-1. McCarthy got hurt. We're going to see Carson Wentz probably start this game.
Oh, God.
And that's going to be tough for the Minnesota Vikings. Arizona Cardinals at 18, down the spot. They're 2-0. But, hey, they're ugly 2-0. But they're still 2-0. But it's ugly. Down 3 spots to 17, the 0-2 Houston Texans. They got to get lined for CJ. That's all I really got to say.
Yeah.
And speaking of a team that needs to get a line for their quarterback, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Man, listen, the Cincinnati Bengals been needing the O-line for about 5 years now. I don't know if that's gonna even happen.
That's because they paid Trey Hendrickson a little bit of money for him to stay for a year because he's a free agent. He's gonna leave. Then you pay Jamar. I get paying Jamar, but you paid T. Higgins too. You could have let T. Higgins walk honestly and got some lines for Joe. Now he out for 3 months, and y'all complain, oh, we got to start off fast. This ain't starting off fast.
At least 3 months.
I mean, listen. Before they did all that, they've been needing the O-line for 5 years now, literally. So it's no excuse why you have not went and got an O-line as of yet. Like, what are y'all doing?
Nope.
I'm gonna make one correction to Eagles Diva statement. They've been needing the offensive line since Carson Palmer was there years ago. They've been needing the offensive line. They never really put one out there to help people be successful. Can't win when you ain't got a line. It's just what it is. Like, stop playing. You can't win when your quarterback can't be protected. That's why a lot of guys
went out in the trenches. He loves the trenches, and he's gonna go find some offensive line people. That's what Chicago did, which they should have did for Justin Fields. Oh, Caleb has to be protected because he took too many sacks last year. Let's get him some protection. And that's what he went out and did. Free agent signings. Find somebody in the draft. Free agency. Joe Burrow is supposed to be your franchise QB. Y'all trying to get this man Andrew Luck. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to retire by the time he's going to say, I don't want to play no more. He's going to be another Andrew Luck.
I don't mean no harm. You ain't got Caleb protection. He's still garbage. So it wasn't the O-line. That was just Caleb.
And then the Bears defense.
So much to say about that, man. I ain't gonna get into it. At number 14, we got the Seattle Seahawks at 1-1. They're up 5 spaces. They got a nice win. Kenneth Walker III. He balled out. Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. My fantasy team needed you. Appreciate that. Up 2 spots. Number 13, the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy's out, but they're going to be going with Whack and Cheese. Maybe with that play calling and everything, we'll see a better version of Whack and Cheese than we saw the last time he played. Holding steady on being a victoriously good team. Up 12 spots, the Indianapolis Colts, with Daniel Jones in the center. A lot of people talked cash money. Excuse me, y'all. A lot of people talk cash money about Daniel Jones. I was telling people, if you give him a good team, an offensive line, he can be solid. And guess what? They did, and he was. He's going to continue, I think, to be pretty solid for this team as long as they have the weapons there, and as long as he can stay healthy and make the plays that needs to be made, and that line can keep him upright. That's the thing. That's what's been his problem. He's been running for his life on teams where they didn't really have his best interest, it felt like, at heart. But it seems like Indianapolis is the place. And I've said before, very smart of him. You go to the one place where you probably have a better chance of starting over the quarterback that's already there. That's what it is. And number 11, down 6 spots, the Kansas City Chiefs. Any thoughts on teams like this?
Fun fact for the Colts: the Colts have not yet punted yet in the game. That's crazy.
I mean, Station doing his thing over there this year. I mean, I don't got to worry about Richardson and his crying self. Oh, he got a decent quarterback. So, I mean, they're playing pretty well.
All right, top 10. Number 10, down 1 spot, the Denver Broncos. Number 9, up 4 spots, the Los Angeles Chargers at 2-0. They made Gino see some ghosts. He might have finally wrote back. At eighth place, they have one spot, the Washington Commanders. At 1-1. At number 7, the Los Angeles Rams at 2-0. They're up 3 spots from last week. And at number 6, the Detroit Lions up 2 spots to number 6 at 1-1. Your thoughts on any of those teams, if you have any?
No, Broncos still playing good football, even though they lost one. Commanders, we knew he was going to drop. I think especially Jaden Daniels isn't playing this week. I think they say he's not going to practice till Friday. So that means, I don't think he's going to be playing today. Mariota's going to be in the game. A lot of quarterbacks are hurt. So Wentz is hurt. I mean, you got Wentz coming in because Burrow's hurt. You got Wentz, JJ's hurt and Wentz coming in. You got Browning because Joe's going to be out. Mac Jones because of Purdy. I don't know who's going to be the QB for Justin Fields. I don't know who his backup is, but quarterbacks is getting hurt already. So, but now I don't see the problem with the list so far in the top 10.
Anything, Diva?
I mean, they are where they are for a reason. They're in the top 10, so they're playing pretty good so far.
At 5, we got Tampa Bay up 1 spot from last week. At 4, staying steady, the Green Bay Packers. At number 3, staying steady as well, the Baltimore Ravens at 1-1, of course. And at 2, the Buffalo Bills at 2-0. And, of course, number 1 in the power rankings, number 1 in the hearts of the Eagles Elite podcast, Philadelphia Eagles. Ladies, have anything else you want to say about the Philadelphia Eagles or any of the teams in the top 5?
We're number 1 for a reason. We still champs. That's it. That's all.
Where was Buffalo on the list?
2.
That's about right.
All right. So there's your power rankings, guys. Heading into week 3 of the season. Of course, we'll talk about power rankings in a few more weeks. Things will change. Things will go a little bit different. But at the end of the day, the fun part about all this is Eagles still number 1. Yes, that's what I enjoyed. So, ladies, nothing else really left for us to talk about. We're coming up on that time. But before we get out of here, would you like to let the people know where they can find you? Any last thoughts?
Oh, I'm on all social media platforms. TikTok, I don't really be on there like that. That's for the youngins. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Seacock, Eagles Diva. You can find me there.
In the words of Deion Sanders, I'm not hard to find. Key in the building everywhere. Find me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok too. TikTok if y'all want to see crazy stuff because that's what I post on there. YouTube, Key in the building. So Twitter, not hard to find. I'm always in the building, so I'm always around.
I know Cool McCain. Easiest way, you just go right down here, and you can follow all the shows and things that I do. As far as following me personally, Facebook, Cool McCain. On IG at Cool McCain, TikTok, Cool McCain. On IG at Cool_McCain. So, ain't hard to find either. Gonna be dropping more content, more shorts and things. Gonna be moving here the next week or so. Just trying to get some things situated, and then we going in. Appreciate everybody that tuned in as every week. Appreciate everybody likes the show, shares the show, and who has subscribed to the show. If you have not done those things for Eagles Elite at Eagles Elite Podcast on YouTube, please do so. If you are listening anywhere besides that, please do that. If you're listening on Eagles Elite, make sure you check out Ed Shady Sports Network on YouTube. Another great place where you can see a lot of good football content. And as always, of course, Rumble. You can see all this great content also on the Rumble channel. We're making that work. Cold as Ice Productions on Rumble. All right, good people. We are out of here for the week. We will be back next week. We got one last comment here. We've already read that one. So, that being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in again. And we out.
You flying.
But before we get out, go Birds.
Go
Hashtag
Birds.
elite. Y'all know what it is. Be back next week. Bring 5 friends.